Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're jumping into one of the biggest changes happening in media right now. We're talking about how artificial intelligence has gone from some sci-fi buzzword to a tool that, honestly, is becoming essential for content creators. Think of it as your new creative co-pilot. All right, let's get into it.
So here's the plan. We're going to start with a big problem every creator knows all too well, and then we'll break down the AI that's here to help. After that, we'll get super practical, talking idea generation, production, and how to actually keep an audience hooked. And finally, we'll zoom out and look at what all of this really means for the future of creativity itself.
Okay, first things first, the creator's biggest headache. It's just the sheer amount of noise out there, right? I mean, with literally everyone hitting publish, how in the world do you get your voice heard above the crowd? To really let that sink in, just think about this number: 500. That's how many hours of video get uploaded to YouTube every single minute. It's not just a crowded room, it's a stadium overflowing. The fight for even a few seconds of attention is just staggering.
So that really is the question, isn't it? When you're up against that much content, the pressure to constantly be creating something new, something high quality, something that grabs people, it's huge. It feels like this constant battle against the blank page and, the endless scroll. But what if you had a partner in that battle? That is exactly where AI comes in. And listen, I'm not talking about the scary takes over the world AI you see in the movies. Let's talk about the AI that we're all actually using right now. And here's the thing you have to know. Every AI tool you use, from Siri to Alexa to ChatGPT, is what we call narrow AI. Some people call it weak AI. All it means is that it's designed to do one specific thing really, really well. Whether that's recognizing your face, writing an email, or suggesting a movie. It's a specialist, not some all-knowing general genius.
And if you really strip away all the complicated stuff, these tools are surprisingly simple at their core. A large language model is basically a superpowered prediction engine. You train it on a mind-boggling amount of text, and then its main job is just to guess the most likely word to come next. So if you type "the cat sat on the," it knows Matt is a pretty good bet. That's it. That's the magic.
So, okay, how does a simple word predicting tool become this idea-generating powerhouse? Well, this is where it gets really practical, and it's how we finally beat that blank page paralysis for good. One of the best ways to do this is something called the outlier method. See, instead of just guessing what people might like, you use data. First, you find a video that just blew up. It got way more views than that channel usually gets. That's your outlier. Then you play detective. You figure out why it worked. Was it the title, the topic? And once you find that secret sauce, you just reinvent it for your audience with your own unique twist. Okay, so boom, you've got a killer idea. Now you actually have to, make the thing. And this is another place where AI is just opening up some incredible new doors, especially for a type of creator that's growing like crazy. Yep, we're talking about the rise of the faceless channel. And more and more creators are choosing to stay anonymous, and it makes total sense. You protect your privacy, you can often make content way faster, and honestly, it just lowers the barrier to entry. You don't need a $1,000 camera or a professional studio. The entire focus shifts away from you, the personality, to the actual value of the content itself. And this strategy really kills it in certain niches, right? Like education, finance, tech. What do they all have in common? The viewer is showing up for the information. They want the data, the analysis, the tutorial. The value is in the what, not the who, which makes them absolutely perfect for faceless content. All right, you've got your idea, you've produced the content. Now for the final and maybe most important piece of the puzzle, engagement. How do you actually get someone to stop scrolling and then get them to not just watch, but to do something? Three seconds. That is it. On platforms like YouTube Shorts, that is your entire window to convince someone not to just swipe away. So your opening, your hook, it has to be everything. And the best ones, they're pure psychology. Let's look at a few formulas that just work. This one right here, it's all about creating an instant curiosity gap. It hints at some insider knowledge, a little bit of conspiracy. It gives you instant FOMO. You have to stick around to find out what they are hiding. Now, this one is genius because it's so relatable. It immediately puts you on the same level as the viewer. It's not a lecture, it's a shared moment of discovery. It makes people feel like they're learning something new right there with you. And then you've got this format. It taps directly into our love of a good competition. It promises a debate, a clear winner and loser. People will literally stick around just to see who comes out on top. So a great hook buys you their attention. But a lot of the time, the real goal is to get them to act. And that's where your call to action, or CTA, comes in. And just like with hooks, the words you choose matter a lot. Let's check out a few examples.
So, what's the magic here? It's that one little word, my. Tons of studies show that when you use first-person words, my instead of your, conversions can go way up. It makes the whole thing feel personal, like a decision they're making for themselves. Here's another great one. This creates a feeling of scarcity, of ownership. It's not just a generic register button. It feels like you're claiming a spot that was being held just for you. It's way more powerful.
And I love this one. It's pure enthusiasm. It's not you telling them what to do. It's them declaring what they want. It turns a simple click into an emotional statement.
So when you put all of these pieces together, using AI for your ideas, for your production, for your engagement, you realize that we're looking at a huge shift in what it even means to be a creator today. We're moving away from the model of the lone artist who has to grind through every single manual step to this new role, the strategic director. In this world, the creator's main job is the big picture stuff, the vision, the unique angle, the strategy. Then, they conduct an orchestra of AI tools to bring that vision to life, faster, better, and at a scale that was just impossible before. And that leaves us with a final question to chew on. If AI can handle the brushstrokes, what is the creator's true role? Are they still the artist, obsessing over every little detail? Or are they becoming something else entirely? An architect, designing the blueprint for a creative system that can almost build itself? It's a question that really redefines what creativity is all about for this new generation.